As of today, I have two tattoos on my body, and I'm going to explain the meaning behind both of them. It's kind of weird. Let's say I meet someone for the first time and they notice my tattoos. And if they ask me about it, I get very, well, I guess I don't love it when people ask me about my tattoos. Specifically, if this is someone that I just met and if I don't know the person that well. And if I had to really think about it, I think it's because, the tattoos have a meaning behind them. And when I'm sharing that story, I'm being very vulnerable. And it's hard for me to do that. But it's a lot easier for me to just talk to the camera and talk about my tattoos. So that's what I'm going to do. I got them both in the same year. I got it in the year of 2022. So the first one I got was I was 24, and then I was 25 when I got my second tattoo, but it was still in the same year. So like a month or two after my birthday. So I'm going to show my first tattoo that I got. Here is the first tattoo. It is a play and pause button. I had to sit on this for, I think it was like 6 months before I committed to actually getting the tattoo. And, growing up, I never thought I would get a tattoo, but over time, I saw a lot of people with tattoos and I was like, I kind of want one for myself. And the way I came about it was I wanted something pretty small and minimal in a spot where it's not super noticeable. So that's why I chose like my inner wrist. And, before I got the tattoo, I had drawn it on my wrist, and I used like a Sharpie or something, and I drew it on my wrist as like to pretend like I had a tattoo as like a test to see if I actually want this. And eventually I found a tattoo shop that was not too far from my place, and I texted the artist and I asked him, "Hey, do you do walk-ins? Can I maybe come in today?" He responded back, "Yeah, I have an opening if you come in right now." So I drove over, and while I was in the tattoo shop when I first walked in, the artist was working on another customer. So I was just sitting in the front area, and I was really nervous. I was like, "Oh my goodness, like should I just cancel? Should I just walk out?" But no, I just sat there, and once the artist was done with the other customer, I walked into the room, and I was wearing a short sleeve shirt, and I guess the guy noticed that I don't have any tattoos on my arms, and he's like, "Okay, yeah, just don't scream too much. I hope it doesn't hurt too much." I'm like, yeah. I think I'll be fine. So the actual tattooing for the first one, I definitely felt, the needle, go into my arm, but it wasn't super painful for me. And again, since this is a pretty small one, I think it only took like 10 or 15 minutes. So it really didn't take that long. So it went pretty quickly. The healing process was pretty quick. I think I just had like a bandage over my wrist wrapped around for like a couple days. But after I got the tattoo, I drove to my parents' house. They had no idea I was doing this. Like I had never even once talked to them about tattoos or like the idea of getting a tattoo. And in that moment, I was afraid my mom would like just freak out on me. So I decided to drive to my parents' house, and like I was like, okay, I'm just gonna like show them immediately. So I went to my parents' house, and only my dad was home. My mom she was out somewhere. So I didn't see my mom that day, but I just told my dad like, "Oh, I just got a tattoo." And he was like, "Oh, really?" He didn't care at all. But then I saw my mom the next day at a family gathering, and then she's like, "Oh, let me see it, let me see it." So she looked at it, and she didn't care too much about it. If you go on the tattoo shops, like the Google reviews, you'll see there are people commenting that apparently this guy was being very like creepy with girl customers. Like apparently he was like inappropriately touching them. So I was like, oh dang, like yeah, I'm not gonna recommend this place to anybody anymore. Like screw that. So yeah, that guy sucks. The reason why I got this is because I wanted something to symbolize that I have control over my life. Because sometimes I feel like things are just out of hand. And I have to remind myself that I can't control what other people do, but I can control how I respond to certain things. And then the other part of it is like, like the play pause aspect. It's okay to just like take a breath and slow things down. Everybody is doing their own thing and we live in a very fast paced world, but it's okay to just slow down and go at your own pace. So I wanted that on my wrist to remind me that, I'm in control of my life and it's always okay to just take a break and slow things down a bit. I'm going to show my next tattoo. So here it is. This is my second tattoo I got. This is just the letter B. So the story behind the second tattoo, I got my second tattoo in, I believe it was July of 2022. So only 4 months after getting my first tattoo, I got my second one. I did not go to the same place as the first guy. I was in Philadelphia, when I got this second tattoo. I went up there in the first place is because one of my close friends was up there, and he originally went up for medical school, but I think during that year specifically, he was in like a gap year, but he was working in Philly. And so that day, I took the day off, but my other friends, they were working that day. So I just Googled a tattoo shop that had walk-ins available. I saw the first one that had the best reviews and I just took an Uber there. And yeah, I got the tattoo. I said, I want the letter B. And they were like, sure. For this one, I mean, it took longer since it was bigger. And then there was more ink. And the tattoo artist that I had, he was kind of fat. He was a heavyset dude. So like when he like leans on me while he's tattooing, I can feel his weight on my arm. So he really like pushed down, okay, into my arm. So, I got the tattoo and he told me what to do in terms of like the aftercare. And honestly, I still don't know what exactly is the best way to like treat your tattoo, because the directions he told me was different from the first guy. So I was like, okay, who's right, But I followed what he told me, and then the next day it was scabbing a lot. I had very dry skin. It looked like it was like how I imagine like a burn mark on someone. Like it was like bubbly, it was scabby, and it was really rough. I had to go see a dermatologist about it, because it was just so many scabs, and they prescribed me this ointment and stuff. And the scabs came off, but with that, some of the ink came off as well. So it's not completely filled. It looks a bit faded, even though this is a newer tattoo compared to my first one. So why did I get this B? And normally the B is pretty visible on my arm. And if I'm meeting someone for the first time, when they see my tattoo, most people will ask me, does the B stand for Brandon? And I tell them no. The B does not stand for Brandon. The reason why I got this tattoo is to honor my favorite movie, which is Slumdog Millionaire. Because this is my favorite movie, I don't want to necessarily spoil it, but I will give a quick summary of what it is. It's basically about a boy who is basically a simp for this girl that he's known pretty much his whole life. And he goes on the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire in hopes that she is watching him and that she can find him. Throughout the movie, it shows like his childhood, his adolescence, and they're separated, but the main character, he's been trying to find her for years. The reason why I chose B is because there is a very pivotal moment. The main character is on, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? So there's like, answer choices A, B, C, and D. So again, I don't want to spoil it too much, but basically there's a moment in the show where the letter B is involved. If you know the Lil Wayne song, Lil Wayne and Drake, right above it, and it goes like, Slumdog Millionaire, Bollywood flow, and my real friends never hear it for me. Fake friends write the wrong answers on the mirror for me. That's why I pick and choose. That's in reference to this movie, to the Slumdog Millionaire. So there's a scene where the letter B is on the mirror. That's all I'm going to say, because again, I don't want to spoil it. That was such a crucial moment in the movie, and I just really admire the main character. His name is Jamal. This guy is homeless. He has no money, no friends, but he's always valued his family. Now, his mom died at a very young age in the movie, and then he has an older brother, but the brother is not a good guy. He's a gangster, and he's not a good person, but he still loves his older brother. He still talks to him, and then the whole dynamic between him and the girl that he's looking for, he'll do whatever it takes. Like he knew from an early age that this girl is the love of his life, and he'll do anything to be with her. Like, he doesn't care about the money, he doesn't care about the fame. He's a simple guy. As long as he has his family, his loved ones, the girl, like, that's all he needs, and I really respect that. So I got that tattoo to honor Slumdog Millionaire. So there it is. That's my 2 tattoos that I have. I would like to get more tattoos. I think it would be cool to have like a whole sleeve on my left arm, but it's been over 3 years since I've gotten a tattoo, and mainly, I guess there's 2 reasons. Just because, one, the last time when I got my B tattoo, it scabbed up really badly, and I'm afraid of going through that experience again. And then the other thing, the main thing for me, is the money. It is expensive, and like right now, I'm definitely not in a place where like I just want to spend like $100 plus on getting tattoos. Like, I can definitely use that money for more important things. So, it's not a priority for me at the moment, but down the line, I can definitely see myself getting more tattoos.